So guys, welcome to this documentary. This documentary is quite different from previous documentaries. This documentary is totally about the Iran mentality, their historical vision about the foreign forces. If we'll talk about the Iran historical conflicts with ancient Greeks, with Alexander the Great, as well as with the Ottoman empires, the Iranians, which were known as the Persians in the old times, are known for their resistance, are known for their retaliations. If we look at the recent conflict which arises between the Iranians as well as between the among the Iranians, Americans, as well as with Israelis, you can call it the full strength, the self-owned, the self-governing, the sovereign country, the Iran, because Iran has the stability to reproduction of their food, their oil, their every kind of energy which matters in their life. Because the Iranian people are quite resistant, shoving people, they never accept the extension of the Israeli boundaries or the Lebanon or the Gulf countries, as well as they are claiming the right to sovereignty to have the nuclear bombs, to have the nuclear atomic bombs. And they are also seizing the Strait of Hormuz, from which Russia is taking the advantage of $500 million per day, and America is going in loss up to $2 billion per day. So from here you can see that the tensions are increasing day by day. The tensions are increasing day by day because of the ideological clashes, because of the economical clashes, because Iran will never allow the American troops in the Middle East, and it is unacceptable. But in the first and the foremost statements, Iran, which intends more on their uranium reach, they must have the nuclear powers. The first and the foremost statements of the Iranian authorities is that, as well as they are also neglecting and passing the statements to stop the Israeli expansion policies regarding the Gulf countries. When the Israelis and Americans killed the Iranian supreme leaders, Iran retaliated. Iran never stopped the war, but the 2 weeks agreement, the ceasefire agreement, was arranged by among the Israel, Iran, and US. But many violations were seen in those ceasefire agreements, where the Iranians came to have the dialogues in Islamabad, in Pakistan, but that agreement was not done totally because it was totally against the interests of the Iranian people. So therefore, the Iranians never accepted those agreements, and still the Iran is happy for the war because Iran is not in that much loss, where Israel is facing a lot of losses because of the military troops, because of the economical clashes, because of the regional instability. So here you can see that a lot of analysts are claiming that it is not ending the war. There is no end of this war because Iran don't want the Israel to expand their boundaries, but the Israelis' ideological view, the ideology, and the Israelis' religious point of view is quite clear that they want the Great Israel to expand their boundaries. So from here you can imagine that to which extent these wars, these conflicts will arise, to which extent these wars, these conflicts will lead to. But the agreement done by Pakistan for the ceasefire among the nations is not well developed, is not well equipped. But the both nations are totally standing against each other and not accepting each other for the well-being of their interests. If you look at the statements of the Donald John Trump, sometimes the Donald John Trump is passing the statements that Iran has only 1 day left for the end of their civilization. Sometimes he is passing the statements for the ceasefire. Sometimes Trump is passing the statements for the peace. Sometimes Trump is passing the statements like the children. But on the other hand, Iran is also passing the statements of retaliation, of resistance, of never being agreement according to the view or mindset of the Israeli people or Israeli authorities as well as the American authorities. But this retaliations, this conflict also leads to the tensions in the Lebanon, where the Iran is fully supporting the Hezbollah group, where the Yemen also supports the Hezbollah group, which the Israelis are claiming that the Hezbollah group is supported by the Iranian people against the Israelis. So the total Middle East situation, statuses, and the retaliations or the conflicts are connected with each other. And behind all of these conflicts, the Iran, Israel, as well as the USA, all of these three states are included, and everyone wants to have the power in the Middle East. Everyone wants to have a strong hand in the Middle East. From now, you can imagine that to which extent this war can lead to, According to my analysis, this war will never stop. If it will, there will be a ceasefire, but that ceasefire will have the power, will have the impact for a very, very short period of time, not for a long period of time, not for a short period of time, but for a very, very short period of time. So from here, you can imagine that this war can be extended to the whole of the Middle East, and it is still in very uncertainty because of the conflicts, because of the statements arisen from all the states who are included in this conflict.